Hi, good evening. Welcome back to Bone Quarantine. Tonight is the second, no, it's going to be the third night of Passover, Pesach, and I thought I would do a homemade marinara sauce and put that into a matzo lasagna. And so we'll kind of get that started, but to start, let me be like Mr. Rogers here. I'm going to put on my apron. And let's see. So, to start with our pasta sauce, we have here in front of me, we have olive oil, we've got a medium onion, I like red onion, we've got that chopped. I've got the minced garlic that comes in a jar, because again, not being able to get out and get any fresh garlic, so I substituted 1 teaspoon for 1 clove of garlic. We'll see how that turns out. Here is some basil flakes. Here's a pinch of red pepper, some salt, sugar, and some butter, and a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, and some wine. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and we're going to put on our, start here with roughly a medium-high heat, and we're going to get our olive oil. This is 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to get that going. And once that kind of gets coated and around and heats up, we'll let the oil kind of shimmer a little bit there. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our onions. What we'll do is we'll just progressively just build flavor. So we're going to let these go here for just a few moments and let them get nice and soft. So we'll be right back. So our onions are cooking along here fairly nicely. Hear them sizzle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stir in the garlic. And we're going to stir the garlic fairly quickly to keep it from burning. Oh my gosh, is there anything better than onions and garlic? Oh. That kind of cooked there for a moment. So while that's going, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the dried basil. And let's add the red pepper flakes, so about a pinch of red pepper flakes. And let those spices, the basil and the red pepper flakes, are now kind of blooming in the olive oil and the onion. So this is kind of coming together. Probably needs just a little bit more time. Now, at the bottom of the pan, I don't know if you can see, but you get these brown bits that kind of happen when you do all this together. And those brown bits are really good flavor for you. So you want to kind of deglaze the pan. And what you can do is use some of your tomato sauce to deglaze the pan. But I also like to see, yeah, that'll work. Add about 1/3 of a cup of red wine. Oh yeah. And then that all just comes up. Get those brown bits. And then we have the 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with about half. Mix it in to finish the deglazing. Add the rest. Now we're just going to let this just kind of simmer. And you can allow this to simmer for 10 minutes to an hour. I'm going to add now our salt, a little bit of sugar, and about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of butter. I also have standing by a little bit of water in case the sauce gets too thick. So we're going to let this simmer. Oh, it smells good. And it's getting a nice deep red color to it. Oh, the best. Okay, so I'm going to turn this down to a simmer. And now, let's start looking at our lasagna. Now we don't want to waste that, right? Okay. So for lasagna, first of all, what I want to do is I'm going to take our 9 by 13 pan, and I'm going to lay our matzah out, and it's going to be 6 matzah. Then I've got some warm water, and we're going to soften this up. So we want to cover best we can. We just want to cover the matzah and just let them soak. Okay, so this is soaking nicely. Give it just a little more time. Give a stir on our sauce. Again, just let that simmer. And let's bring over the ingredients for the lasagna. So we've got 4 eggs, lightly beaten. We've got 28 ounces of cottage cheese. We've got 8 ounces of mozzarella shredded, and some Parmesan mixed in with it. And then, again, there's a little bit of thyme, some basil, salt and pepper. Cutting board, because there is a little trick that Lisa once taught me, which makes the softened matzah even better. If you look on our matzah, even the edges remain very stiff. So what I like to do, particularly for this recipe, is I do what I can to line them up. So now, if I can find a knife that'll work, because if you see what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting off the edges. Okay, this one on the bottom. Again, you do the best you can. If these rough edges give you a hard time. Now in our bowl, I'm going to add all the ingredients together at this point. So the cottage cheese, the egg, the 2 cheeses, salt, pepper, and our thyme. We're going to mix this up, get it all combined into one goopy mess. Okay. Now, come back to our sauce, which has been simmering very nicely. think the sauce is ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a layer of sauce on the bottom of the pan. Just calls for a thin layer, like that. Okay, then our matzah, 1, 2, and then we're going to add, cover this in our mixture. And about half. And like that's there. Then the other thing I want to do though is now I'm going to preheat my oven. So now our oven is preheating to 350 degrees. On top of this mixture, we're going to add a little more tomato sauce, just to kind of get it incorporated in here. And then, hopefully, take our pieces of matzah. Again, if it falls apart, it's not the end of the world. I'm making a new little thing here. Okay. And the remainder of our cheese and egg. And if possible, that. And then just fill in our pieces here wherever you have any gaps. Okay. And then we have the rest of our sauce. And then right before it goes into the oven, we'll also put some more shredded mozzarella and Parmesan on the top. So I'm going to grab that and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we added a little bit more cheese to the top and it is ready to go into the oven, 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. And just on the middle rack. Okay, set our timer for 40 minutes, and then we'll be back when we take it out of the oven. All right, be right back. Okay, so it has been 40 minutes, and let's take a look and see how we did. It smells good. I think if you cut into it right now, it's just going to kind of run. But this is what this is what we got. So this is a matzo lasagna, and we'll come back when I kind of let it sit here for a couple minutes, and then we will. I'll kind of do it, and we'll see what it looks like. So hang on. Okay, so now it's been a few minutes, and let's see how we did. So you see, actually, probably could have stood up a little longer, but that's all right. We're going to give it a try. Okay. Let's see. It's always first piece. There we go. I don't know if you can see the layers to it here, but it's matzah, cheese, tomato sauce. There. Okay. So there you have it. It's a matzo lasagna with homemade tomato sauce. So thanks very much for being a part of Bone Quarantine. We'll see you next time. Happy Pesach, and have an amazing day. Bye.